Dear colleagues, welcome to today's press conference. We have with us Honorable Minister for Food Processing Industries, Madam Harsimrat Kaur Badal ji. She will be briefing you on cold chain projects. We also have with us Mr. Avinash Srivastava, Secretary, Sri J.P. Meena ji, Special Secretary, and Madam Anuradha Prasad, Joint Secretary of the Ministry. As you are aware, Minister had recently announced sanctioning of 101 new integrated cold chain projects spread across the country. Today we are going to show you a short film on cold chains. I would like to inform you that we are also joined today by stakeholders here who will also interact with you. I request you kindly put your mobiles on silent mode, and I'll request the Secretary to introduce. Later on we will show you the document. Sir.
Honorable Union Minister of Food Processing Industries, distinguished dignitaries on the dais, esteemed media colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this extremely important press meeting. I am thankful to each one of you for joining us. In this meeting, Honorable Union Minister of Food Processing Industries will explain about the large number of preservation infrastructure and processing facilities being created by this ministry to reduce wastages, increase farmers' income, create employment, and serve the consumers by year-round availability. The process which started last year reached a final point in terms of framing of draft guidelines for cold chain projects, stakeholders consultations, inviting UIs, and finalizing the proposal. Honorable Minister is sparing no efforts to take the food processing industries to dizzy heights. The guidelines for Mega Food Park Scheme and for cold chains have been revised to benefit farmers and to ensure early completion of the projects. Projects are reviewed extensively, which has led to 4 more Mega Food Parks reaching a stage where they'll be operationalized within the next 3 months. Likewise, several incomplete cold chain projects have been completed, and a very large number will be completed in the next 6 months. Various technology initiatives have also been taken under her stewardship, which she will be talking about. We are also setting up an EOI module for the new cold chain projects, which we'll take up later on. ISRO is also getting involved to do a study of mapping of agri-horti-produce, surplus agri-horti-produce across the country to help us develop our cold chains and mega food parks. My request to all of you is to please visit us frequently at our website, www.mofp.nic.in. Ours is a happening sector. We would like to get your active support and participation in our activities so as to increase our processing levels, to increase farmers' income, reduce wastage, and generate employment, along with stabilizing prices for consumers. The structure of the meeting is as follows. First, there will be a film on cold chain. Then, Honorable Minister will address the gathering, followed by interaction with cold chain promoters, followed by interaction with the press. I will request to start the film and to switch off the lights.
With an urge to reach full potential.
Volume, please.
And opportunities start to unfold in a nation of unparalleled diversity. From the valleys of Kashmir to the mountains of Darjeeling, from the coast of Gujarat to the fields of Kerala, India is a land of rich agriculture resource base with 127 agroclimatic zones. India is naturally endowed through its length and breadth.
We hold this press conference at the backdrop of yet another good announcement for the food processing sector. The ministry is today sanctioning 101 new cold chain projects. As you know that wastages in our country are very high because of the lack of cold storage facilities. We often read in the newspapers and see on television about farmers throwing their produce on the roads or hearing about vegetables and fruits rotting. And whenever this happens, the next step is that the prices spiral up because of the lack of availability of those very many things. And often the onions bring tears to our eyes and tomatoes make the governments fall. So in this whole scenario, we see that one of the major reasons for rotting and wastage is the lack of infrastructure of cold chain. So I'm happy to announce these 101 cold chains which are going to be sanctioned and uploaded today across the country. These 101 cold chains will bring in leverage a total of almost 3,100 crores, 3,100 crores of investment will come in due to this. They will add, like I said, a capacity of 2.76 lakh metric tons of cold storage, controlled atmosphere, frozen atmosphere, almost 630 refrigerated vehicles will be added. So I'm happy to say that almost 4.7 million metric ton of agriculture and horticulture produce will be processed in these 101 cold chains. And the value of this 4.7 million metric tons will be almost 12,000 crores annually. And where we are looking at 92,000 crores getting wasted, this is a step in the direction of bringing down wastages and post-harvest losses by almost 13%. This kind of infrastructure coming up in 101 locations is going to benefit almost 2.6 lakh farmers to be directly benefited, and these cold chains will create direct and indirect employment for almost 60,000 farmers, youth, youngsters, in all direct and indirect ways. As I said before, that we are working hard to fast-track the transformation of India's food economy to make it into a global food market and into a global food factory as well. Our target is fourfold. One is to make a national food grid in the entire country, which will consist of the cold chain grid and a chain of mega food parks across the country, where from production to consumption, there is a seamless transfer of perishables with lowest amount of wastage, or zero wastage is what my target is going to be. So one is to create this national food grid. Secondly, to bring down post-harvest losses and wastages to zero. Shorten and compress the supply chains and make them more efficient. And lastly, to create huge markets, which is why we brought in FDI and multi-brand retail of food, which is produced and manufactured in India. So on the backdrop of that, I think I had already mentioned that I was going to be holding a World Food India affair from 3rd to 5th November, which is going to be a platform, a meeting place for national and international players in the food chain to come, partner, and progress and prosper and go to the next level, where the entire world is looking at India's food market, which is one of the biggest, not only biggest, but also growing very rapidly. Now we're inaugurating the 101 cold chains.
Well, the need for a national food chain to conserve grains and for food security, and a national cold chain to conserve perishable commodities, particularly horticulture, animal husbandry, this has been long felt. Some kind of food chain has emerged, but still cold chain is yet to emerge until the very recent initiative of the Ministry of Food Processing and Industries under the able Minister, Madam Badal. And I congratulate the Ministry for converting the need for cold chain into reality, because this is going to make a lot of difference to the prosperity of the farmers. The government is now committed both to achieve nutrition security for the people and also income security to farmers. The income security of all the farmers growing perishable commodities, horticultural crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers, it depends again on how to preserve them, the perishable commodities. So a major event has taken place in our agricultural history by this step of the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. The initiative of the Minister to develop a cold chain base in the country is a very important and timely one. It's a very timely one because that's what we have been needing for a very long time. And at long last, a need has been fulfilled and a vision has been converted into action and reality. And again, I want to congratulate. Now the time is for extensive training of those who are going to use the cold chain. They must all be empowered with knowledge how to use the cold chain, what purposes it should be used, because it's rather expensive also. Energy is expensive. Energy to run the cold chain is expensive. So we must maximize the benefits of the cold chain. And in my view, at the end of it, we should have an integrated food chain and cold chain in the country so that we take care of food security, nutrition security, and the livelihood security of the farmers.
भारत सरकार के फूड प्रोसेसिंग मिनिस्ट्री द्वारा भारत में पहली बार इतने विशाल स्तर पर जो 101 फूड प्रोसेसिंग प्रोजेक्ट लगाने का आवंटन हुआ है वह अपने आप में कीर्तिमान है। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का लक्ष्य है कि कैसे भारत के किसानों की आमदनी दुगुनी हो। उसी लक्ष्य की प्रतिपूर्ति के लिए कृषि से जुड़े सभी मंत्रालय प्रयासरत हैं और 2022 में हम देश के किसानों की आय दुगुनी करने में निश्चित रूप से कामयाब होंगे, ऐसा विश्वास है। इन 101 प्रोजेक्ट की क्षमता 2.76 लाख टन है और जिसकी एक साल में हैंडलिंग के बाद निश्चित रूप से इसकी क्षमता 3 गुनी यानी 8.23 लाख टन होगा। ये महत्वपूर्ण कदम पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट लॉसेस को भी 13% कम करेगा। और मैं अंत में इस कामयाबी के लिए इतनी बड़ी योजना को सैंक्शन देने के लिए फूड प्रोसेसिंग मंत्री सम्माननीय श्रीमती हरसिमरत कौर बादल जी को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं और किसानों के लिए बैकवर्ड लिंकेज बनाने में बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण और सराहनीय कदम होगा, ऐसा मेरा विश्वास है।
हमारे देश में हर साल 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज़्यादा फ्रूट वेजिटेबल का नुकसान हो जाता है क्योंकि हमारे देश में कोल्ड स्टोरेज की कमी है। इस समय भारत सरकार ने विशेष रूप से हमारी फ्रूट प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्रीज की मंत्री श्रीमती हरसिमरत कौर जी ने 101 प्रोजेक्ट मंजूर किए हैं। उसमें से 21 प्रोजेक्ट महाराष्ट्र के हैं और ये कोल्ड स्टोरेज प्रोजेक्ट के कारण महाराष्ट्र के विशेष रूप से ग्रेप्स, ऑरेंजेस, फ्रूट, वेजिटेबल के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा फायदा होगा। ये विशेष रूप से स्टोरेज के कारण नुकसान भी नहीं होगा, किसानों को करीब बड़े प्रमाण पर इसका उपयोग होगा, वो अपना माल बेच सकेंगे और 101 प्रोजेक्ट के मंजूर करने के बाद देश में लाखों रुपए के फ्रूट वेजिटेबल बचाए जाएंगे। ये हिस्टोरिकल निर्णय है। नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हमारी मंत्री हरसिमरत कौर ने किया है। ये किसानों के लिए बहुत उपयोगी है। मैं दिल से उनका बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं और 101 प्रोजेक्ट में से 21 प्रोजेक्ट महाराष्ट्र के लिए उन्होंने दिए हैं, इसलिए हर प्रोजेक्ट के पीछे 10 करोड़ रुपए का उन्होंने अनुदान दिया है और इसलिए निश्चित रूप से महाराष्ट्र में ये बहुत उपयोगी होगा। मैं महाराष्ट्र के किसानों की ओर से और देश के किसानों की ओर से उनको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ और उनका अभिनंदन करता हूँ। नमस्कार।
ये बहुत ही बढ़िया स्कीम है। चाहिए था कि इसको बहुत अर्ली पहले शुरू कर देते। इससे एक तो किसान को आमदन ज़्यादा होगी। अगर फूड प्रोसेस करके बेचा जाएगा तो कम से कम दुगनी कीमत उसकी मिल जाएगी। और एक ये है कि बहुत सारी फ्रूट्स, वेजिटेबल और दूसरी चीज़ें ख़राब हो जाती हैं, 25% के करीब ख़राब हो जाती हैं, वो भी बच जाएंगी। मैं इस जो स्कीम शुरू की है इसको मोदी सरकार को और फूड प्रोसेसिंग मिनिस्ट्री को दिल की गहराइयों से सारे हिंदुस्तान के किसानों की तरफ से मुबारकबाद देता हूँ।
ਫੁੱਲਟੈਕ ਫੈਕਟਰੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਸਾਧਨ ਆ, ਪਰ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਲੂ ਤੇ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਫੈਕਟਰੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਲੂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਉਹਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ। ਆਲੂ ਦੀ ਖੇਤੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ 'ਚ ਰੇਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਉਠਾਉਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਵਾ। ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਆਲੂ ਕੋਲਡ ਸਟੋਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ, ਜਿਹਦਾ ਕਿ ਜ਼ਿਮੀਂਦਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੋਇਆ ਵਾ।
ਸਾਡੇ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਈ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ 20-22 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਅਟੈਚ ਆ। ਆਲੂਆਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਆ। ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਫੈਕਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੰਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ।
నమస్తే అండి, నా పేరు మహాలక్ష్మి. నేను జగ్గంపేట గ్రామం నుంచి వచ్చానండి. మాకు ఈ మధ్యకాలంలో ఎటువంటి ఉద్యోగాలు లేదు, కానీ ఈ మధ్యకాలంలో ఏర్పాటు చేసిన నెక్కంటి సంస్థ ద్వారా ఒక మంచి ఉద్యోగం నాకు దొరికిందండి కంపెనీలో. ఈ కంపెనీలో చేయడం నాకు చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది. అలాగే మాకు బస్ సౌకర్యం కూడా ఏర్పాటు చేశారండి, వెళ్ళి తీసుకొస్తూ ఉంటారు. అలాగే భోజన వసతి కూడా మాకు ఏర్పాటు చేశారు. ఈ కంపెనీలో అన్ని
साई कृपा इंडस्ट्रीमुळे आमच्या दुधासाठी योग्य भाव, वेळेवर पैसे व इतर सुविधा मिळतात. त्यामुळे आमच्या आयुष्यात आमूलाग्र असा बदल झालेला आहे. दुधाला चांगला दर मिळतो, तसेच आजूबाजूच्या शेतकऱ्यांना, इतर लोकांना साई कृपा इंडस्ट्रीमुळे दूध घातल्यामुळे चांगला रोजगार पण मिळालेला आहे.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. The film that you just saw was of all those units which have been supported by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. And I think it will be very clear, as you can see, the kind of modern technology that is being used, the quality of the equipment, and the kind of technology we are trying to bring in to ensure that food wastages reduce and we can work towards ensuring better and more hygienic food at competitive prices for our consumers. So today is another happy occasion where recipients of our 101 cold chains are here with us today. I welcome all of you to be proud owners of your cold chain and all of you to be a part of what my ministry is trying to make into a reality, which is create a movement where we reduce wastages, zero tolerance towards wastage, and where our government is working towards doubling farmers' income. So I welcome you all to be a part of this movement with these 101 cold chains that you're going to be setting up. You're going to be a part of transforming India movement, and I welcome you all to be a part of this family, which is going to change the future of our country. It is indeed a happy occasion today when I say that this government in the last 3 years has taken many transformative steps to make transforming India into a reality. When we talk about performance, when we talk about reforms, I can proudly say that in every sector, the government has taken huge steps. And I think as far as the food processing sector is concerned, these films will probably show you the kind of work that is being done, but I would still like to highlight a few things. That my ministry in the last 3 years, like I stated, that our aim is to bring down wastages as much as we can, preferably to zero, and to ensure that better quality food is available for our consumers at cheaper prices, and to ensure that our farmers' income doubles as well. As well as you must have seen from these movies, from these video clips, that the kind of employment generation that takes place in each cold chain, and if we have 236 cold chains and we have 42 mega food parks, you can imagine the kind of employment generation that is taking place. And for me, something which I'm personally very happy about when I see clips like this is to see the number of women who are getting employment in these food parks and food chains. So I really believe that with these 4 things of increasing farmers' income, of reducing wastage, of increasing revenue, giving better prices to consumers, as well as creating employment, these are pivotal and transformational as far as the future of our country is concerned, and I'm happy to be playing, our ministry to be playing a very important part in this. I would also like to highlight a few of the things that we have ensured in the last 3 years, because these transformations do not happen overnight, it takes time. But I would also like to highlight the backdrop, just to give an idea of the kind of work that has been done. I'm also congratulate my ministry that we have had an all-time high utilization of funds of Ministry of Food Processing that it has ever done in the history since this ministry came in. 720 crores is the all-time high utilization of funds, which till earlier used to be 500 crores in our last year. We increased from our own utilization of last year, but if you look at it in comparison from utilization of the last government and our government, I can proudly say that it can be reflected by the kind of units that we have got on the ground. This ministry, the schemes which came into existence in 2008, for example, mega food parks, 42 mega food parks were sanctioned in 2008. And when our government took over in 2014, each mega food park is supposed to be ready in 24 months, which is 2 years. But from 2008 till 2014, in 6 years, out of 42 mega food parks, only 2 had been operationalized. And I'm happy to say that with the hard work of the ministry, from 2014 till 2016, in 6 years, in 2 years, we operationalized 6, when they had only done 2 in 6 years. And we have another 4 which are ready to be inaugurated, so 10 in 3 years. Same thing I would say for our cold chains. When we took over in 2014, There were 100 cold chains which had been sanctioned, and only 30 of them had become operationalized, when in 2 years they were all supposed to become operationalized. I'm happy to say that within a year of taking over, we ensured all balance were operationalized. We issued 30 more new cold chains in 2015, which already 5-7 of them are operationalized. In 6 months, all 30 will be operationalized. And now these 101 new cold chains which we have issued, my target is that within 20 months, each and every one of them will be operationalized. To ensure that we can work on ground, we have had to take a number of steps of reforms. One of the first things we did was make everything online as far as possible, so that, as you know, that the moment there is human interface, it leads to not only corruption, but it also leads to delays. So our government worked very hard to ensure that there is online filing of claims, there is enhanced transparency. So systems like the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of more governance and less government was ensured in this government by putting these systems in place. Then the government took many reformatory steps in the food processing sector to create an environment. You all must be aware, I think Anuradha ji might have briefed you about NABARD, how there is 2,000 crores corpus which was created in NABARD to ensure a cheaper rate of lending for the food processing sector. This sector was also given a priority sector lending status. Besides this, the most recent and the most, I would say, transformational step which was taken last year by the government was to allow 100% FDI in food, which is 100% FDI and multi-brand retail of food which is manufactured and produced in India, which I'm happy to say is already beginning to yield results. My last press conference was about how in e-retail there had been commitments of about almost $600 million for this e-retail sector. But I can also say that this food processing FDI has been growing annually at $500 million every year. But this year, there is already a commitment of 700, and the year is still not, the total calculations have still not come in. So I can safely say that by next year, we are looking at doubling the amount which has come in this year. So this multi-brand FDI in retail will ensure that our markets become streamlined. So to make India the global market and to make India a resilient food economy, this ministry is doing all that it can to ensure infrastructure comes up, to ensure the retail markets come up, and ensure that with both these coming up, our farmers, their income gets doubled and our youth get employment. So as far as the retail sector, I think I mentioned it in my points, because a lot of the points may have been doubled. We are already a $600 billion retail sector, out of which 70% is food. This is set to be almost $120 trillion by 2020. And if 70% of that is going to be food, there is huge potential for all of you who are putting up the cold chains. So I think together we are going to ensure that the infrastructure comes up, and then to make use of this infrastructure, I think you all are aware that we are holding a World Food India from 3rd to 5th November, which is going to be a platform for you to interact with international global players to ensure tie-ups, ensure markets, not just in India, but outside India, for what you will be doing in your food chains. We are also working on a few other things, which is to ensure that there's a level playing field throughout our country. Not that some states who are very innovative in their food policy reap all the benefits, but because we are largely an agrarian nation, we have to ensure equal progress of all our farmers. So before the World Food Fair, we are working that there should be a policy, a food processing policy, which all the states should adopt. The highlights of the policy are going to be so that every state should, have a special food processing, if not a ministry, then at least a single window clearance for food processing sector. Everything is up on the website. I would also invite you, because you're all in the food processing sector, to give comments on that. If there's anything else that you suggest that should be there in a state policy to encourage food processing. And then we will encourage all the states to adopt this food processing policy before the World Food Fair comes in. So when we present ourselves to the globe, to international people to come, make in India, for India and for the world, to be a global food processing factory for the world. We have an even platform for them to go and choose any corner of India and know the basics of food processing that will be available. But I would also like to take this opportunity to highlight another important achievement, which is in reduction of wastages. As you know that in our country, wastages are very high. You all must be interacting with farmers in your state. And like I said before, that we often read and hear about such things. But the one study which was done by my ministry, which showed that 92,000 crores worth of perishables were wasted annually, I think was a cause of alarm. But I think a cause of also not happiness, but at least celebration is that the fact that the kind of 42 mega food parks that my ministry, the infrastructure which is coming up, in the 42 mega food parks and the 134 cold chains which we are implementing, some complete and some in the process of getting completed, with the target being 20 months where everything will be completed. With these 42 mega food parks and 234 cold chains, these will be preserving and processing almost 139, approximately 140 lakh metric tons of agro-produce. And the value of this agro-produce will be 35,000 crores. And if you look at wastages, we can safely say that 35,000 crores of agro-produce, probably 10%, if not more, would have become wasted. We all know that more than 30-40% gets wastages, but I'm taking still a smaller figure and saying that out of this 35,000 crore, at least 10%, if not more, would have got wasted. And I think we are working towards ensuring that there will be zero wastage with this processing facility. So with these food parks and these cold chains that you will all be a part of, we will be working towards reducing, ensuring that wastages also come down. And of course, we will be creating employment for almost 3.5 lakh youths in different parts of our country and benefiting almost 15 lakh farmers, because these clips also show that wherever there has been a cold chain or a food park which has come up, it has directly benefited the farmers. That's something that we ensure. And the new cold chain scheme, we have ensured that the guidelines are such that some farm gate infrastructure must come up so that our farmers can also avail and make use of that infrastructure. I think Professor Swaminathan said, Dr. Swaminathan said a very important thing, that now not only to create awareness about these, but also to ensure that there is maximum utilization. The farmers understand how to utilize these cold chains and these capacities that we are creating to ensure the nutritional and the food security and the revenue security of our country. So with these words, I would just like to end by saying that my ministry is working in every way that it can to ensure the markets are created, the infrastructure is created. We are also I would like to give a brief mention, because you may take this message back to your states. You all come from different states. Our new scheme called Sampada, which will be launched very soon, is also going to be a scheme which is going to work in even a more focused and a targeted manner. We are now working towards mapping the clusters in our country. Wherever there is a cluster of any raw material of perishable available, be it chilies, be it ginger, be it a fruit, a vegetable. So through technology, we are going to map these clusters of food all over our country. Then through technology, we plan to map what is the infrastructure available there, what is the shortage. If there's a cluster of a certain food, what is required over there which is not there, and hope to create that so that wastage reduces and there is more storage facility created, cold chain facility created, which benefits the farmers and the produce. And thirdly, we plan to map the laboratory food testing labs all over the country to ensure that as we are pushing food processing to higher levels, we must ensure that there are labs available as well where food can be tested so that hygienic and safe food is provided to our people. So through technology, to see what the infrastructure is, where the food is and where the lab is, this is also the next focus. And then through our Sampada scheme, we will in a targeted fashion be giving subsidies to create infrastructure in those clusters, so that throughout India, the whole idea of making a food grid in our entire country for seamless transfer from producing area to consuming areas with zero wastage becomes a reality in the next 2-3 years, just like the reality of ensuring farmers' income is also doubled within the next 5 years. So with these few words, I think if there are any questions, we could leave the floor open for that, and otherwise the media can go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind words.
I think you can also add about IIFPT being 87 in the ranking, I forgot to mention.
What Honorable Minister has just now mentioned about the new Sampada scheme, about the IT initiatives, about mapping of agro-clusters and all that. In addition, I would also like to inform you that we have got 2 institutes where we impart Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Technology, BTech degree and MTech degrees in the food technology sector. One is NIFTEM, you are aware of, in Kundli, Haryana, and the other is Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology down there in the south. It is in Thanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Recently, this institute has made it to the 87th rank in the Ministry of Human Resource Development's ranking of institutes of this country. So this is a big achievement for us. And yesterday, the director, he came and he received the award from the Honorable President of India. Now, you would also be aware, Honorable Minister has mentioned it, that we are going to launch we are going to have an international food event called the World Food Summit, World Food India, we are calling it, World Food India 2017, from the 3rd to the 5th of November, here in Delhi. In Vigyan Bhavan, we are booking the whole of Vigyan Bhavan, the back lounge and the central vista on either side of the Rajpath, where we will set up hangars for exhibition and we will have a food court also. So we are traveling both within the country as well as outside the country, trying to get the foreign investors. We are having meetings with the ambassadors, with the foreign food processors and retailers, and we are trying to get them attracted towards India because the Indian retail market is now opening up, the food sector. Madam, with your permission, we have got some of the cold chain promoters. If you will permit, then we will ask them to very briefly share with us their vision about the project. Then we will open up for interaction with the media.
I would also appreciate if the cold chain people can, because before this World Food India, if there are any issues that need to be addressed at the government level, I would be happy if you would put up your comments on the ministry's website. And if there is anything else that you would like to highlight, because like I say, we are working towards reducing food wastages into a mass movement. And to make it into a mass movement, you all are going to play a very important role with the kind of processing that you all are going to be doing. So if there are any things that you would like to highlight, I would be happy to hear about them. And anything you think about in the future, you may put it up on our website. We have an investors portal also. We have a facilitation desk also. And we have a platform for your comments, which are directly received by me. And I would also invite all of you that you must come for this World Food India, because we're working towards creating new markets and new opportunities in every sector. It's not just going to be for retail, but whether it is for a progressive farmer, whether it is for technology, whether it is for machines, whether it is for processing and for retail, the entire gamut of the food economy is going to be showcased there. So huge opportunities for you to come and partner and take things forward. So I also take this opportunity to ensure that you block those 3rd to the 5th of November, you block those dates to be a part of this movement in India.
Ma'am, if you'll permit, we have got some of the new project promoters here. If Mr. N.S. Barar from Pagro Frozen Food, I will request him to briefly share with us his vision for the project.
Give a mic there only.
Mic only?
Mic नीचे ही दे दिया अगर ऊपर आने जाने में टाइम लगेगा.
Hello. Good afternoon, Honorable Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal ji, and the dignitaries on the stage, the press, and my fellow friends who have been selected in these 101 cool chain projects. Just to brief about our company, we started in the year 2002 a small project for frozen vegetables. But our intention from that day was that we wanted to set up a world-class facility. So we imported the entire line from Frigoscandia and from the Denmark. And we doubled the capacity in 2007, and in 2011-12, we set up the largest frozen vegetable project with a capacity of 5 tons per hour, which is the largest in Asia except China. Our endeavor from the day one was, besides meeting the demand of the Indian industry, Indian food items, we wanted to export. I remember when in the year 2006-07, I went to Europe, I went to Middle East, I went to Saudi Arabia to sell frozen vegetables from our factory. Said, sorry, food not from India.
Sir, I will interrupt you. Please share with us your vision for this project in half a minute
Yes,
now.
yes, sir. So, sir, ultimately, now we have been able to break through for exports to Japan. We have signed with 3 Japanese companies because Japan is supposed to be the toughest food processing acceptability time. So we have signed with the 3 companies our agreement. Hopefully, in next 3 to 5 years, we would be exporting more than 100 crore rupees of frozen vegetable from India. As far as the vision for this project is concerned, now after the frozen vegetable, now we are setting up an integrated potato processing project, which would be processing around 50,000 tons of potatoes to make potato flakes and to make potato bakes, frozen snacks. This project we will be implementing within 1.5 years' time, and this would be one of the largest projects besides the McCain's and other companies in the potato who are only in French fries. But we are going for a different items. And our vision, sir, within 2020, we wish to be 250 crore rupee company. From 15 years back, we were only 4 crore rupee company. Thank you very much, sir.
I will call forth some more names, but I will request you to remain on your seat. Just raise your hand so that somebody who is with the mic can go around to you. And my request would be, please don't talk about your company so much. Just talk about this cold chain project of the ministry and what you intend to do with it in as brief a period of time as possible. Now, I will invite Mr. Manav Suri from RGA Fresh Fruits, Mumbai, Maharashtra.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'd like to thank the Ministry for the kind support. This is Manav Suri from RGA Fresh Fruits Private Limited. RGA is a subsidiary of Suri Agrofresh. We're setting up a cold chain facility in Navi Mumbai, which is proposed for procurement, packaging, processing, and storage of fresh fruits around Maharashtra region. So we'll be targeting aerials, pomegranates, grapes, and apples for long-term storage and export in the international market. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Mr. Bipin Patel, Banaskantha District Cooperative Milk Producers Union, Gujarat.
आदरणीय मंचस्व पर विराजमान महानुभाव और कोल्ड चेन प्रोजेक्ट से आए सारे प्रमोटर को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं अमूल डेयरी के अमूल ग्रुप के सबसे बड़े जो प्लांट पालनपुर में जो 50 लाख लीटर दूध पर डे प्रोसेस करता हूं, उनको रिप्रेजेंट करता हूं। और ये कोल्ड चेन जो इंटीग्रेटेड प्रोजेक्ट है, उसमें हमने एक 2 लाख लीटर का मिल्क चिलिंग सेंटर, 5 रोड मिल्क टैंकर्स, एक बैक्टीरिया और एक बटर रिवर्कर और 5000 मेट्रिक टन बटर स्टोरेज के लिए प्रोजेक्ट रखा है। इसके तहत जो हमको बेनिफिट होने वाले हो, मैं आपको जरा ब्रीफ में बताऊंगा कि मिल्क इज ए पेरिशेबल कमोडिटी, हम सबको पता है। तो हमारा जो मिल्क एक रीजन में है जहां नर्मदा का अभी पानी गया है, तो वहां पर मिल्क प्रोडक्शन काफ़ी बढ़ रहा है। तो वहां पर हम चिलिंग सेंटर बनाएंगे जो मिल्क को वहां पर कूल कर देगा। फिर रोड मिल्क टैंकर के माध्यम से हम उसको मेन प्लांट में ले आएंगे, जहां पर हम हमारा जो 50 लाख लीटर की डेयरी है वहां पर प्रोसेस करेंगे। वहां पर हम बैक्टीरिया क्लैरिफायर एक इंस्टॉल कर रहे हैं, जिसके माध्यम से हम जो भी इनकमिंग मिल्क में बैक्टीरिया लोड है उसको करीब 97% कम कर देंगे, जो क्वालिटी को फर्दर इंप्रूव करेगा। और जो विंटर में जो सीजन में हमारा जो दूध जब ज्यादा आता है, जब व्हाइट बटर ज्यादा बनाते हैं।
Patel साहब, we have heard you. I will now request Mr. Vishal Deshmukh.
Thank you.
If anybody has any queries, जी किसी ने कुछ पूछना है तो वो कर लीजिए, बिकॉज टाइम का भी थोड़ा पाबंदी है।
Respected Madam Dice, I'm very thankful for you for giving the project for farmers. We are in Maharashtra. Solapur district is working for grapes and pomegranate. Will
आप
be very-
सारे किसानों के साथ काम करते
Yes,
हैं?
madam, we are working.
अच्छा, बहुत
So, Honorable Subhash Deshmukh sir said that we shall meet madam after next 20 days. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Mr. Manohar Agarwal, Haldiram.
Hello. Respected Food Minister, Madam Badal ji.
थोड़ा पास कर लें
And-
माइक को अपने.
Respected Madam
Ji.
Badal ji, and first of all, we are thankful for providing this opportunity and this project. Myself, Dr. A.K. Tyagi, Executive Director, Haldiram Group. Haldiram is a multi-product and multi-location
सभी
company. And we are
हल्दीराम तो सब
exporting
जानते हैं.
nearly 80 countries. And our object of this project precisely to collect 1.5 lakh liter milk through the farmers. By this project, we connect approximately 15,000 farmer to our project, and one farmer have the 5 member approximate. So we connect directly 75,000 farmer, and we will generate the employment also, and we will remove the middleman, and so that we will increase the income of the farmer. And we will make the dairy product by this milk, by our own consumption, just like paneer, dahi, yogurt, etc. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Mr. Tara Ranjan Patnaik, Chairman, Falcon Marine. He is also one of the promoter of a new project.
Honorable Cabinet Minister.
जी, it's coming. Just keep it close to your mouth. It's okay.
Honorable Cabinet Minister, Harsimrat Badal ji, and all distinguished guests on the dais and off the dais. I would express my gratitude to Honorable Minister and her team for subsidy which has been sanctioned in a complete, transparent and timely manner.
Thank you.
And I should brief about my project. This will help at least 2,000 to 3,000 farmers will be directly engaged. They are all contract farmers. And direct employment will be around 1,500. And our company will earn additional 700 crores.
Very good.
Thank you, madam.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Very good.
I will now request one of the completed projects, some of the completed projects also we have invited today so that they can talk to the new project owners and share with us their experiences. Mr. Lakshman Srinivasan, Revati Commercial, Hooghly, West Bengal.
Honorable Minister, Madam, dignitaries on the dais, media personnel, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I am deeply indebted and grateful to the Ministry for extending wholehearted support in encouraging and setting up multi-purpose cold storage for preservation of fruits and vegetables, which we have already completed in the state of West Bengal. And this has been immensely been benefited to large section of farmers, specifically the marginal farmers, because we are working closely with the farmer community. Now we are planning to expand their produce by setting up of retail chains and also promote exports.
Setting up retail chains?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so directly you will take from the farmer and sell it also?
Yeah.
Very
Yes,
good,
yes.
excellent.
Right, madam.
Very good.
Thank you.
Special clap for this. I'm happy to see that our cold chain project, they're becoming entrepreneurs in retail also. Very good. Ji. Yeah. No, I think if nobody in the cold chain does not have any queries, then we can straight away go to the press if there are any questions.
I will now request the
Ji.
press people if they have any questions
नहीं,
to ask.
इनसे इनको पूछना. जी.
I am Shivaswamy from Hyderabad, Prima Food Tech Private Limited.
जी.
First, I want to thank you, the Honorable Minister, and Madam Anuradha Prasad, other dignitaries, for providing a subsidy. Now, I am coming not for, I am coming with the issue. Basically, today vegetables and fruits when they are traded, there is no tax. But we understand a new GST is going to come. We don't know what will be the status of our industry. We request the madam to help us so that a reduced tax is applied for this our product, final product.
Don't worry, as long as I'm sitting here, you need to be rest assured
Thank you,
that
madam.
under the Prime Minister, you will not. There will be lowest for fruits and vegetables and all perishables.
Friends from the media, please just take out the placard number and then we will one by one. Yeah.
I think media knows everything about this ministry. अच्छा, कुछ रह गया है पूछने वाला? आई थॉट सब।
Yeah, please.
मैम हरप्रीत इस साइड। मैम जो 101 ये कोल्ड चेन थे, इनको कितना टाइम लगा पूरा का प्रोसेस में, और क्या क्राइटेरिया रहा इनको अलॉट करने में?
इसको हमने थोड़ा टाइम एक्सटेंड कर दिया था ताकि और लोग अप्लाई कर सकें, क्योंकि कुछ बीच में इश्यूज आ गए थे। इनको हमने कौन सी तारीख को EOI कब हुआ था? 31 अगस्त। नॉर्मली 45 डेज दिए जाते हैं, पर वो सितंबर अक्टूबर में कुछ इश्यूज होके और टाइम दे दिया गया था। एंड अब वो सारे 101 अलॉट हो गए हैं। एंड हमने सारी टाइमलाइंस को और कंप्रेस कर दिया है कि कुछ चीज़ों जिनकी क्लियरेंसेस आपको अलॉट होने के बाद में लेनी होती हैं, हमने पहले ही ज़्यादा टाइम दे दिया ताकि वो क्लियरेंसेस करके ही आप अप्लाई करें, ताकि जब आपको ग्रांट मिले इमीडिएटली आप ऑन ग्राउंड अपना काम शुरू कर सकते हैं। तो पहले 24 महीने मिलते थे, अब 20 महीने मिलेंगे काम कंप्लीट करने के लिए, और हर डिले के लिए भी पेनल्टी होएगी, उसमें से ग्रांट को थोड़ा कम किया जाएगा टू इंश्योर कि आप टाइम के सीमा के अंदर आप सारे कोल्ड चेन्स आप डाल दें। एंड एक बहुत, जैसे मैंने पहले मेंशन किया, अहम चेंज जो किया गया था कि इसको मैंडेटरी बना दिया है कि फार्म गेट पे आप ज़रूर कोई ना कोई फैसिलिटी आप लगाएंगे जिससे किसानों का फ़ायदा हो सके। एंड बाकी उसके साथ आप और कोई कंपोनेंट जोड़ सकते हैं, रीफर वैन जोड़ सकते हैं, कोई प्रोसेसिंग लगा सकते हैं, या कोई डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हब के पास कुछ आप लगा सकते हैं। सेकंड कंपोनेंट आपकी चॉइस की हो सकती है, लेकिन कम से कम फार्म गेट लेवल पे ज़रूर कुछ ना कुछ लगाया जाए, वो मैंडेटरी है।
मैम, इफ यू परमिट मी, बट आपको मैं थोड़ा सा और बता दूं, ये तो मैडम ने बताया जब हमने EOI फ्लोट करी, लेकिन EOI से पहले भी बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज़ हुई। सबसे पहले तो मैडम के स्टूवर्डशिप में प्रपोजल बना, फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री से अप्रूवल लिया गया, दिस हैपेंड इन फेब। उसके बाद हम लोगों ने गाइडलाइंस बनाई, गाइडलाइंस बना के नेट पे अपलोड किया, और उन पे कमेंट्स लेके फिर फाइनली हमने जो है अगस्त के महीने में गाइडलाइंस फाइल करी। सो देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ बैक वर्क।
एंड ये सिर्फ कोल्ड चेन्स के लिए नहीं, इधर बैठे हैं मीना साहब जो बताएंगे इतना ही काम फूड मेगा फूड पार्क के लिए, और अब ये संपदा स्कीम के लिए, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया नई स्कीम आ रही है और उसकी कैसे टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सारी मैपिंग करी जा रही है, क्लस्टर्स के गाइडलाइंस भी बन रही हैं, साथ के साथ टेक्नोलॉजी को भी यूज़ हो रहा है। तो स्कीम अभी आई, पूरी आपके सामने आई नहीं है, लेकिन उसका बैकग्राउंड का काम पहले से चल रहा है ताकि इमीडिएटली लॉन्च हो सके।
You're speaking about Sampada. You spoke about the Sampada scheme. So, would it be something like geotagging, which ISRO is doing for various ministries? Also, I think you said somewhere that the scheme would be, with the investment of around 6,000 crore subsidy to the industry for small and micro units which want to be set up. So, if you can give us some more details, because.
So I think 6,000 crores is what we've been given for the next 5-year plans. And Sampada scheme is now going to become an umbrella scheme in which there is going to be mega food park, cold chain, technology upgradation, labs, as well as these cluster development, and also there are going to be many schemes under the Sampada scheme, and that entire scheme we have been given 6,000 crores over the next 5 years. But for this small cluster development scheme which I'm talking about, where you will be getting 35% subsidy up to the amount of 5 crores. That is going to be for making of these small clusters. And up till 10 crores, sorry, not 5 crores. 5 crores kaun si wali scheme hai? Wo, that is for, okay. I think it should be in the cabinet in another 2 weeks, and then after that, as soon as we get the guidelines, we're just working on the marking system, the guidelines and all that. So as soon as possible, because we... No, FDI in retail is already cleared. So that I don't think has to come to cabinet. That is a decision that commerce is going to take, and as soon as it's taken, it'll just be announced. Because FDI has already been announced, so I think that's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, friends.
Ji. तो ये FDI तो मैंने अनाउंस किया ना, ये पिछले जो हमारा प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ था जहां अमेज़ॉन ने $500 मिलियन कमिट किया, उसके बाद ग्रोफर्स ने, बिग बास्केट ने किया है, तो ई कॉमर्स वाले में तकरीबन 700 का ऑलरेडी कमिटमेंट आ चुकी है जो DIPP में गई है फॉर क्लियरेंसेस। एंड इसके बाद अब ये वर्ल्ड फूड इंडिया में रिटेलर्स ने भी बहुत इंटरेस्ट दिखाया है, सो वी होपिंग कि ये अब जो दूसरे बड़े रिटेलर्स दुनिया के हैं वो आके अपने रिटेल में भी करेंगे। तो काफ़ी क्वेरीज चल रही हैं, उनको टाई अप्स करवा रहे हैं बिकॉज दे आर लुकिंग फॉर लोकल पार्टनर्स। सो काफ़ी एडवांस स्टेजेस पे बातचीत चल रही है एंड जैसे भी कोई अनाउंसमेंट आती है कॉमर्स से उसके बाद तो आप एकदम देखेंगे कि फिर तो भीड़ लग जाएगी।
जो कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा आपका?
3,100 जो ये 101 कोल्ड चेन्स हैं इसमें 3,100 का इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा और जैसे हमारे 42 मेगा फूड पार्क्स हैं उसमें तकरीबन 10,500 करोड़ लेवरेज होगा। तो ये 100 कोल्ड चेन्स ये हैं, 42 मेगा पार्क्स एक तरफ दूसरी स्कीम में चल रहे हैं एंड 30 कोल्ड चेन्स पहले। सो टोटल 232 कोल्ड चेन्स एंड 42 मेगा फूड पार्क्स, इनको दोनों को जोड़ के इट शुड बी अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 50,000 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट। इससे 3,100 करोड़ विल बी द इन्वेस्टमेंट लेवरेज बाय दीज 101 कोल्ड चेन, जिसके लिए हम 827 करोड़ सब्सिडी दे रहे हैं।
लास्ट सवाल मैडम जी, ये कब तक वेस्टेज को जीरो लेवल पे लाने का कोई टारगेट रखा है?
अभी ये तो आप कह रहे हैं कि मानसून की बरसात किस दिन को आएगी तो मैं क्या बोल दूं पर हम तो अपना काम कर रहे हैं। तो जैसे आपको बताया इस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ ऑलरेडी 10% वेस्टेज रिड्यूस कम से कम होएगी। अब एग्जैक्ट फिगर क्या है वेस्टेज की तो ज़ीरो, हम जैसे आपको बोला तो मास मूवमेंट बना रहे हैं। वेस्टेज अब फॉरेन कंट्रीज़ में भी होता है। आज ग्लोबली 33% वेस्टेज होती है, जो बाहर के विदेशों में होती है वो प्लेटों पे होती है। लोग इतना ज़्यादा खरीद लेते हैं, अपने फ्रिज में स्टॉक कर लेते हैं, प्लेट में वेस्ट करते हैं। तो देयर वेस्टेज इज ऑन प्लेट एंड आर्स इज एन हार्वेस्ट एंड पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट, बट ग्लोबली द वेस्टेज इज 33%। सो हम वी आर वर्किंग टू लर्न फ्रॉम द टेक्नोलॉजी और हार्वेस्ट और पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट को हम जीरो कर लें, क्योंकि हमारे देश में तो प्लेट में वेस्ट करने के इतने पैसे किसी के पास होते ही नहीं है। सो थ्रू टेक्नोलॉजी वी आर लर्निंग एंड वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स क्रिएटिंग वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। जब क्रिएट हो जाएगा, जब उसकी यूटिलाइजेशन शुरू हो जाएगी, तब तो मैं बोल सकूंगी कि अब हमारा टारगेट कितना टाइम में अब सारा ये हो जाना चाहिए। पर अभी तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट करके हम उस तरफ काम कर रहे हैं। थैंक यू।
I invite you all for lunch. Please join us for lunch.
Fourth floor,
on
please.
fourth floor.
Yeah. Thank you very much.